Hey, YouTube. What's going on? Check this out. Look at this place. See all the trucks? There's. Let me see if I can find this in good spot here. Blah, blah, blah. All right. I should have flipped it over, but then it'll turn me the wrong way, and then you're going to be like, oh my God, his head's upside down. I spent the night here. I was all by my lonesome. I went inside and I'm like, so how's the neighborhood? And they said, oh, it's good. You just got to watch out for the raccoons and the deer. Don't throw no food outside. The deer. Okay, so I don't know how you city folk are, but I mean, if you got a problem with deer, well, that's when you start shooting them and making some deer burgers and stuff, right? Anyway, all right, here's the breakdown. I made a video. I deleted it because I got a little bit political, and I'm not doing it on my videos, okay? I mean, I might do that later on, like if I have live streams. No, I won't do that either. I'm not here to try and sway or motivate anybody in any particular way of any kind of political affiliation, although I don't stand with the current administration. So I have my reasons, and it's no point in getting into it. All right, so I've got, and that's a Thermo King receipt. That's nothing. That was the tune-up kit I bought a while back for $56.74. So, all in all, my total cost, I got a hotel room. Now, if I had pressured this guy, I probably could have got in and out of there in one day and made his guys work overtime. I might have had to spend a little more. I don't know. I think I got out of there rather cheap, although he did not do the DOT inspection on my truck and trailer as requested. Other than that, everything seems fine. Okay, I've got to keep an eye. There's a couple of things I'm trying to keep an eye on. I'll tell that in a minute. First, let me break this down for you. 624,000 miles, 624,323 to be exact, on a 2016 Freightliner. Now, at 500,000 miles, it's recommended that you do your O-rings and replace your sump, your oil sump, whatever you want to call it, the oil pickup tube below, not the pickup tube, that's what the O-rings are attached to, the piece that they had to modify in 2015. My rig was built, well, it was put on the market. It wasn't even put on the market. It was built for this dude in November of 15. So it might have a 2014 engine in it. It might not. I don't know. I didn't get the old one, so I should have asked to take that. Some people are like, oh, replace the oil pump while you're down there and yada, yada, yada. And that oil pump, from what I've read, it's not the oil pump that goes out. It's the other stuff that starts to go out. And now the fuel pump, that would be one thing you would want to replace. I didn't go that far, okay? I was just trying to be proactive and make sure I don't get stuck in the middle of nowhere. I got this new app that y'all need to try out. It might be better than Trucker Path. It has achievements. Shut up. I'm talking about my repairs. Okay. Anyway, so it cost me an extra $81.72 because I got a hotel room. So you got to take that into consideration. It wasn't a necessity. I could have slept in the truck, but I wanted to take a shower. I wanted to just chill out in my room and not be bothered in the area of town that Elite Diesel of Augusta is. So, really good shop. Jimmy's a really nice guy. He's got some good guys working for him. Him and there's another dude in the building, used to work for Freightliner. The Freightliner in Augusta sends actually pretty much all their shop work to this guy. At least that's what they said. But, you know, don't they all say that? Anyway, I don't know. We'll find out how good a guy this is, really, as far as mechanics go. So, it's been running really great. If I remember, I'll stick a oil pressure picture on the front. But my oil pressure was, I didn't realize it was low, right? So on Facebook, they're like, is this normal? Is this normal? So on the first notch, when I'm idling, it was like if you put the gauge bar on the line, it was like one gauge bar line below it. Now it is one or two above it. So I was either starting to lose oil pressure or I had a different viscosity oil. I got some full synthetic put back in it. He didn't tell me if it was 1030 or not, so I got to get that back from him as well. So, but that's what is supposed to be in there. So anyway, here we got removed oil pan, replaced pickup tube, O-rings, and sump with new. That was $880. Performed a PM service was $187. So the PM, it was a full PM. It included the Davco, the fuel filters, complete lube job. They cleaned my engine off, which is more than I can say for 4-star Freightliner in Tifton. So I did a little bit of extra cleaning. There was one spot they missed, that the right side where the oil filter, it's got a vent that goes into the motor. At least I think it's a vent, because I looked it up and some of the guys say it has it and some of them don't. Mine has one, and it had some seepage around the side before I purchased it. That was the only thing on this truck when I got it that was showing any kind of oil. There was no oil leaks on the bottom, none of that stuff. So I cleaned that off, and I've only gone like 300, 400, 300 miles, 200 miles. Excuse me, something like that. And it hasn't seeped yet. I'm just keeping an eye on that because, I couldn't get around the edge, so there's still like a black line going down the other side, but, and there's another spot I need to keep an eye on. I need to keep an eye on the whole thing, but there's spots where it was clean that, anyway, so removed all 6 football seals and replaced with new ones to verify repairs found okay. Replaced with new RAN unit to verify repairs found all okay at this time. So the football seals, for those of you that don't know, on the driver's side of the Freightliner on the DD15s, and I think 13's the same as well, you have your fuel rail and the lines coming off the fuel rail going to the side of the motor where your injectors are. Now, those little football shaped seals that your injectors go into are called football seals. They run $13 to $17 or something like that a piece. I heard as low as $10, and you can replace them yourselves. The only thing is you're going to lose your prime, and you have to stand there for 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, 1,000 hours trying to prime your truck to get it running again. I was going to replace it myself because they were only $10 to $13 a piece. And I figured, save me a little bit on labor. And we had a discussion about it. My number 6, which is all the way in the back, which is hard to get to, was the main one that was leaking. Number 5 had a slight leak, and 1 through 4 were fine. They didn't have any leaks at all. But what it does is it spits diesel out, and it gets all over your stuff. So it wasn't super bad. Like the number 5, it had diesel stains on it, but it didn't look like it was going any further. Number 6, you got a part of the fuel rail that comes down. These two lines that come down, they were blocking the view. All I could see was, and the stain, it had to have been bad because the stain was large enough to where I could see dark stain hiding out underneath there and around the edges. But it's not, unless you're a squirrel and you can get your head up in there and see exactly how it's leaking, you're not going to be able to tell. So, but he said, yeah, you don't have to take the fuel rail off. He said, if you got the tool, it makes it easier, but it's best to use the tool because you can strip them out really easily. And then you take those off and you put them on. The only problem is the prime. I watched a video of a dude that did his own, and he left the truck sitting for 2 or 3 hours and said he couldn't get the truck started back up at all. So I don't think I would have that big of a problem, but what I need to do is get me some kind of priming device if I want to go back in there and do that kind of stuff. But so they changed the filters and everything else, and those with the PM. All right. The oil pan gasket, which was the main reason they were down there in the first place, was because that sucker was leaking. That was $40.68. That's crazy, man. $41 for an oil pan gasket. And they don't cost that much on a car. O-ring, and O-ring. There's 5. And each of those, one is 2, and one is 1. There's 3 different part numbers. And the total cost of the O-rings was 20, 40, 50, 61, 69, 70, right around $70. $71. The 2 filters, I'm assuming of the fuel filters, were $60.83. It's a L5104. And the water separator, the Davco, was $60.77. The oil filter was $27.50. The oil itself was $138.72, which actually ain't too bad. I mean, if you go to the oil change, you're looking at $138.72 plus the oil filter is $150, $165, $166. I don't know if I'm missing anything there. If it's just oil and the oil filter. Oh yeah, labor. I don't know what the labor would have been on that by itself, but $166 just for the oil and the filter. That's actually not too shabby. Football seals, all 6 of them. Total cost was $82.80. They were $13.80 a piece. And then they added brake cleaner and gasket sealant in there as well, which is understandable, which was about $21. Now, I could have gotten off cheaper with, they must have used a lot of brake cleaner. 2 cans. That's 2 cans for me. That might have been 1 can for him. Maybe it's a really big can. No, it says 2 on there. Well, there you go. Anyway, that's it on that repair. Total came to $1,666.45 after $40 in tax. And another wonderful tax write-off. So, to date, I got to get rolling in a minute. I got to get rolling about 14 minutes here. To date, let me tell you my repairs on this vehicle now. To date, the lifetime cost on this truck, and remember, it now has 624,323 miles at the time of repair. To date, I have a total of, this is from the birth of this vehicle, all the maintenance that was done, all the unnecessary alignments that were done, or the extra 3 that were done that shouldn't have been done, because if you went to the right place the first time, you wouldn't have had this problem. But live and learn. I didn't do it, so I didn't have to live and learn. I actually looked at a bunch of, let's not go there. Anyway, so lifetime cost on this is $38,426.27. And I think his purchase price was $150 or $160. So that's right at $200,000 for 624,000 miles. So, not too shabby. Since I bought it, I've put $6,358.02 in it. Now, this does include the inverter that I just bought for $495, I think it was. But this inverter is awesome. So, it works out really well. I was at 6 cents a mile since I bought it. I am now at 12 cents a mile. Just because of January, I've put in $2,100 if I include the inverter. If I don't include the inverter now, I'm at 11 cents. No, 10 cents. I'm at 10 cents a mile if I don't include the inverter. So you can see how much that adds. So I got some driving to do to get my cost back down to 6 cents a mile. But the lifetime is still at 6 cents a mile. So admittedly, everything starts to fail the older a vehicle gets, and all I seem to be left with is going to be the sensors. Maybe, as long as nothing major happens, it's going to be sensors, the I don't know. You really can't say what else. I mean, it's been well taken care of, and I'm trying to do the same. So, but yeah, that's about it. Now, this does include some APU services in there. I didn't take those out. So, I mean, if you don't have an APU, your repairs, and you might have more than 6 cents a mile. So this is just, but think if you take care of it well, you should be good. Because the APU here, he put $670 on an alternator and $660 on rebuilding the heater and the alternator wire and the PM service. That's $1,200 right there. $1,216 with what I got in there, and then another $830 he put in there for a fuel pump and a belt and a water pump fuel kit. These APUs, if you don't know how to work on this stuff, and another $308 on a suction orifice kit for the APU and a PM on the APU, that seems to have been included in a cost of $605 for a cab filter in this truck, as well as another PM service on the APU and a PM. He's got PM services on the APU, but he goes and does extra stuff. Okay, here's one with just the PM service on the APU was $292. You can buy the kit yourself. Where'd it go? You can buy the kit yourself for $56.74 and get some oil, and that's actually kind of high. I've seen guys who actually got the kit for less than that, but then you need 2 jugs of oil. This thing holds, that APU, that's a little lawnmower engine, and it holds like, I don't know, 8 quarts of freaking oil, 6 quarts of oil. So, like a car, well, an older car. Some of these new cars are crazy too. Not like a Harley Davidson that takes 12 quarts, but see, I mean, that's crazy. $300 for a PM service on an APU. I'm not paying that. I can pay less. But then again, I know how to do my own work. For those of you that don't know, look it up on YouTube, man. It ain't that hard. Buy yourself an oil pan, drop the pan out the bottom, pull the plug, take the oil filter off. So you're going to need an oil filter wrench too, and like a 10 or 14 millimeter wrench or whatever it is to get the oil drain pan plug out, and dump that oil out of there and clean it off. Get yourself a pressure washer or some kind of engine cleaner. Don't do that until after you seal it back up. Check all your lines, etc., etc. It's not that hard, and it's not going to cost you $292. Maybe the first initial will be like $200 because you got to buy tools and crap, but come on, man. You can get away with $100, so you're saving 60% off the price from a Thermo King. I don't know what they cost at, same thing, $261. It was a warranty service on the APU, $235 and $243. So, you know, that's just an idea of what these APUs cost. They can run into some bucks if you don't know how to fix them. Anyway, that's it. So we're looking at that. That's $1,600 down the drain, but I still came out on the green last week because, socks. I gotta get rolling. I still came out in the green because of the fact that I did one load. Took it from Ohio to just down past Alachua, Florida. I might have mentioned that in a previous video. I might have mentioned that in the video I deleted. I know I mentioned it in the video I deleted. So that was, what the heck was it? It was 36, and then that took off 720, so 2980. Was that what it was? Guys, I don't even remember. All I know is it was after fuel and getting up there, and I ran like 9.7 or 9.6 miles per gallon all the way down there, but it was a load of cans. So, and I was booking it. I had a tight schedule on that one because of the way if I took the load, like she gave me 5 loads to pick from. She's like, I got 5 of these. She's like, which one do you want? And I like to go early. So I'm like, give me the earliest one and it was 6 p.m. pickup. She's like, give me the earliest one you got, or 5 p.m. pickup. No, it was 4 p.m. pickup. So, because it was 1600, 1700, and I don't know what the other three were. And I'm like, give me the earliest pickup. And this is what I'll run it for. So, if I'd have looked closer, my drop was, it only had like a 12-hour leeway. And this place that I was picking up at was notorious for long delays. Although, a lot of things you got to understand, these production facilities, when their machines go down, they can't load you. So crying about it ain't going to get that machine fixed any faster. And that's what this can place does. So they make these cans, and when their machine goes down, you got to wait. Nothing you can do, or go get another load. Anyway, the machine wasn't down. I went to the back. They send you around back to park. I parked back there, went into sleeper berth, and I was going to take me a little nap. The wife got off the phone with me, and I laid there, I don't know, for 30 minutes, and then they called me on the phone. I was just starting to get cozy. Hey, yeah, come on around. Man, I've only been here an hour. I was loaded within seconds, guys. I backed in the door. I looked back there. The red light was on, right? I swear I heard a ka-junk, 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 and that was it. So I looked up. It might have been 10 minutes later, but I looked up and the light was already green. I'm like, what? What is going on here? So I climbed out and the security guard was walking over. She's like, just pull forward and shut your door, sign your paperwork, and you can go. Good God, these guys are quick. But that one only had like a 12-hour leeway, so I had enough time to take a 15-hour leeway, something like that. So I had time to take a 10. So I booked it over to a Kentucky way station and took a 10 there, and then I went the rest of the way and then took another 10. So I had enough time. I had enough time to take a 10, 2 10s, and that was it. But I didn't want to, or an 8 and a 10. I don't know. I think I did a split. No, I didn't do a split. I didn't have enough time. I was looking at doing 2 10s and taking my sweet time because I don't like to be rushed. And I got down there and I took my second 10, and it gave me like an extra 2 hours left, and that was it. I don't like playing with 2 hours on the clock. So anyway, it all worked out well, but the load after the one I picked up, which was only an hour later, which was 1500, 1600, 1700, that load dropped the whole day later. So I'm like, man, I could have gone there and done that. And if I'd have known it was going to take as long as it took at Elite Augusta, I would have done that. But I still came out ahead. So with the repairs, with the fuel, with the hotel room, and everything else, I think I came out in the green of $500 for the week. So, that's a good thing. Yeah, buddy. Anyway, that's all I got, man. I'm going to pick this load up. I'm going over to Andersonville, Tennessee with this load, and I'm going to get the heck up on out of here. There's another super light load. I didn't get out of the house Monday. I went to the truck. I looked for a load. I hung out there. Couldn't find a load. My wife had to go to the bank. I had to mail off some tax stuff, so I said, you know what, come pick me up. Take me to the donut shop. Take me to the post office. I'll run home and look for a load. So, and that's what happened. And then I went back to the truck. I found this load, and I drove to 15 miles out. And, man, rates, I don't know, man. Rates in Georgia aren't always the best, right? You can get some decent rates. And if you're in Atlanta, you can get great rates. If you're in Savannah, you're getting $2 and up, right? So this one is 1,100 on, I don't even know. I can't go back. Remaining time. Let me see here. It was 300 and something. 310, 318 miles. No. That's from the TA. Yeah, that's right. 318 miles. Hey, you coming to pick your trailer back up? I slept between 2 trailers. I mean, this guy came over here and dropped this one trailer off from Cowan, and nobody else stayed here. Cope, South Carolina. Anyway, so 311 miles or whatever for $1,100. That's not what I'm making off of it because, I got to pay my dues and all, but, You know, it's not bad. Ah, crap. I forgot to put my 2021 sticker on my truck. I got it in the truck. I just got to put it on. I better do that. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day.